Hi there, my name is Livy and I'm going to be taking you through this 40-minute intermediate Vinyasa flow today. I've managed to find this beautiful spot in the sunshine, so I really hope you enjoy today's practice and let's just get started. So we're going to get started by finding a comfortable seat, be cross-legged or sitting on your heels, just whatever feels more comfortable for you. And beginning with our Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, or alternate nostril breathing. So closing down the eyes, or just settling the gaze down towards your mat. Resting the left hand open on your knee, we'll take our right hand with the thumb over the right nostril, middle and index finger over the third eye, so between the eyebrows and slightly above, and the ring finger over the left nostril. So to breathe in, cover the right and inhale through the left. Cover the left, exhale through the right. Back in through the right. Cover and exhale through the left. That's one whole round. Back in through the left. Cover, exhale through the right. Back in through the right. Cover and exhale through the left. Just continue at your own pace. See if you can start to slow it down. And as you breathe in, make sure you're letting your belly expand. And as you breathe out, allowing the belly to contract. We start and finish on the left nostril. A couple more rounds of this. Once you finish your next round, just return to your natural breathing, resting the hands on the knees. We'll take a deep breath together, in through the nose with a sigh out the mouth. So when you're ready, take a deep breath in and big sigh out. Blinking, open the eyes. Inhale, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forwards onto the fingertips. Relax the head and neck. And on your next breath in, rolling up to a seat, take your hands behind you, press the hips forwards onto the knees, either keeping chin tucked or you can relax the head back. Squeeze in the glutes. One more breath in. And exhale, lower back down. Switch the feet over so the other one's crossed in front. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold onto the fingertips, relaxing the head. And on your next breath in, rolling back up to a seat, take the hands behind, press the hips forwards onto the knees, either chin tucked or release the head back. One more breath in. And exhale, releasing back down. From here, we're going to take our hands behind, feet mat distance. Just windshield wipe the knees from side to side. And then tip both knees to the right. As you breathe out, lift the hips, squeeze the glutes. Slowly lower back down. See if we can go hands free as we take the knees the other way. Lifting the hips high, tight squeeze. Slowly lowering back down. Just alternating sides. Take this at your own pace. You can always use the hands on the ground for a bit of support if you'd like. We'll go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands behind. Walk up into your malasana or deep squat, so elbows drawing knees apart. You can take a bit of movement here, maybe rocking side to side. Maybe tapping a knee down at a time. For another 3, 2, and 1. Lower the hands, step back into tabletop. So we've got hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We'll get the wrists nice and warm. So circle the shoulders over them, changing directions each round. And then point your fingers to the edges of the mat, rocking side to side. And then flip the hands up to the face, fingers pointing to knees. Little rock back and forth. And then lowering the hands back down again. Tuck the toes, shift the hips up into our downward facing dog. Just taking a little bit of movement here, pedaling out the feet. Make sure you've got fingers nice and spread apart, hands about shoulder width, feet about hip width. Start to see if we can find some stillness, putting equal force into hands and feet. Lifting kneecaps, fully relaxing the head. 1 more breath in. And exhale, start walking the hands towards the feet into a dangling fold. Take a nice bend in the knees, hold onto the elbows. Little sway from side to side. 1 more breath in. And exhale, interlace the fingers, extend the legs, push the palms ahead. See if we can keep the body parallel with the ground, sending hips back. And then lift the heels, palms up into our toe balance. We'll see if we can keep the heels lifted as we come all the way to standing. Nice big stretch. 1 more breath in. And exhale, lower back down. Drop the knees. Step the right foot in front. Sink into the hips. And exhale, take a fold, half split. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Last one, inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Step it back into tabletop. We'll take some cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, push the mat away, round out the back. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, round out the back, your own pace. For another 3, 2, and 1. Tuck the toes back into our downward facing dog. Maybe find a little more length in the spine by lifting the heels, bending the knees, shifting the hips up a little higher, and then re-straightening the legs. We'll take 1 more inhale here. Exhale, walk the hands back. Straight away, we'll interlace the fingers, flat back, straight legs, pushing palms ahead. And lift the heels, sink the hips into your toe balance. 1 more breath in. Exhale, come all the way to standing, heels nice and lifted. 1 more inhale. Exhale, lower back down, drop the knees, step the left foot ahead. Inhale into our low lunge, sink into the hips. Exhale, fold, half split. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Last one, inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Step it back to tabletop. Send your shoulders past your wrists, squeezing the bum a little so the thighs are in line with the body. Elbows drawn to ribs as you lower. Inhale into a cobra. Zip your thighs together. We'll take a little rock side to side, rolling onto each hip. For another 3, 2, and 1. Tuck the toes but lift your thighs into an up dog. Hinge from the elbows to chaturanga. Push up to a plank. 1 more breath in. Exhale, lower through a full chaturanga. Inhale, roll over the toes, up dog. And exhale into down dog. 1 more breath in here. And exhale, look to your hands. Inhale, make your way there. Take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, look up between the palms. And exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to inhale, lift the arms high, right knee high. Point the toes, shoulders down, reaching through fingertips. And then flex the right foot, place the ankle over left thigh as you take hands to heart center. Sink into hips, figure of four. For one more inhale. Exhale, lift everything back up through stork. Flex the foot and sweep it all back into warrior three. Fixing your gaze on a point. Try to level off your hips. Flexing the right foot down. One more inhale. Exhale, big step back. Ground the right heel. Sweep the arms up through warrior one. Pull your left hip back, right hip forwards. Press into your right pinky toe. Shoulders down, reaching through fingertips. Gazing to your thumbs, relax the eyebrows. One more breath in. Exhale, release the hands down. Drop the right knee. Sink into the hips for a low lunge, cactusing out the arms. You can either stay here or option to interlace the fingers behind the back and slide the hands down the leg for a little bit of a deeper back bend. Come back to your breath. One more inhale. And exhale, shift the hips back through a half split. Either frame the front foot or you can keep your fingers interlaced. One more inhale. Exhale, release the hands, transitioning through a lunge. Pivot on your right knee, so the right toes turn out to the right side. Left foot steps to the back, left arm extends up, followed by the right foot into a full side plank. Keeping the hips high, you can either stack the feet or place one in front of the other. Try to keep the right shoulder away from the ear, really reaching up through the left fingertips. One more breath in. And exhale, lower the left hand down, dropping the right knee. Keep your left leg as high as you can, pointing the toes. Elbows drawn to ribs as we lower chest and chin. Keep the left leg high. Inhale, drop the chest, lift into cobra. And exhale back into down dog. One more inhale here. Exhale, look to your hands. Inhale, make your way there, take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hands to heart center. Now on to the left side. So left knee lifts through stork, arms lift, point the toes, take the knee high. One more breath in. And exhale, flex the foot, place it over opposite thigh. Figure of four, hands to heart center. One more inhale. Exhale, everything lifts back up through stork. Flex the foot, sweep it all back. Warrior three. Fixing your gaze on a point just ahead. Really reach back through the fingertips. Feel into all four corners of your right foot. Try to level off your hips. One more breath in. And exhale, step back onto the left foot. Ground the heel, 45 degrees. Arms sweep up, warrior one. Pull your right hip back, left hip forwards. Press into your left pinky toe. Lifting back kneecap. Settle back into your breath. One more inhale. And exhale, drop the left knee down. Sink into the hips. Cactusing out the arms. Or finding the hands behind the back. Interlacing the fingers. Lifting the chest for our low lunge. Try to release any tension in the face. One more inhale. And exhale, shift the hips back through your half split. You can either keep the hands like this or frame the front foot. Try to draw your right hip back slightly, keeping the right foot flexed. One more breath in. Exhale, transition through your lunge, framing your right foot. Pivot on your left knee. Extend the right foot to the back, followed by the left. Right arm lifts into our side plank. Keep that left ear away from the shoulder. Lifting forwards from the crown of the head, hips high. Use your Ujjayi breath. One more inhale. Exhale, lower the right hand, drop the left knee. Right leg lifts as high as you can. Elbows to ribs as you lower chest and inhale, slide through to a cobra. Exhale, back into down dog. One more breath in here. Exhale, look to your hands. Inhale, make your way there. Take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, stork pose. Right knee lifts. Exhale, figure of four. One more breath in. Exhale, fully slide the right knee over the left. Either rest the big toe on the ground or see if you can hook the toes behind the leg. Inhale, arms open wide. Exhale, cross left elbow over right. Palms turn into touch. Press the elbows out and away from the face. One more breath in. Exhale, everything lifts high through stork. Flex the foot, sweep it all back into warrior three. This time, option to interlace the fingers behind the back, pointing the toes, maybe dipping the chest a little lower and the right leg a little higher. One more breath in. Exhale, release the hands down close to your left foot. Right leg lifts as high as you can, standing split. Really squeeze the right glute, point the toes, lengthen through the leg. Press nose towards your knee. One more inhale. Exhale, step back onto your right foot, ground the right heel, arms lift, warrior one. One more breath in. Exhale, drop the right knee. Inhale, lift the chest, cactus the arms. Exhale, float back, half split. One more breath in. Exhale, transition through lunge, pivot on your right knee. Left foot steps back, followed by the right side plank. This time, we'll try hovering that left foot, pointing the toes. See how high you can take that leg. A little tricky on the balance. One more breath in. Exhale, lower the right hand down. Drop the right knee, keep the left leg high as we lower chest and chin. Inhale, slide to cobra. And exhale back into down dog. One more breath in here. Exhale, look to your hands. Inhale, make your way there. Taking a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hands to heart center. Onto the left side. So left knee lifts through stork. Breathe in. Exhale, figure of four. Sink into hips. One more inhale. Exhale, cross left knee fully over right. Either tuck the toes or rest the toes on the ground. Inhale, arms open wide. Exhale, right elbow over left. Palms turn into touch. Press the elbows out and away through our eagle pose. One more breath in. Exhale, everything lifts. And then flex the left foot. Sweep it back. Warrior three. So we can stay here or interlace the fingers behind the back. Start to point the toes, lifting the back leg a little higher. Chest drops a little lower. One more inhale. Exhale, release the hands down into your standing splits. Press the left leg as high as you can. Press your nose towards your knee. One more breath in. Exhale, step back onto the left foot, ground the heel, arms lift, warrior one. One more inhale. Exhale, drop the left knee. Inhale, sink into the hips, cactus the arms. And exhale, everything folds back into a half split. One more breath in. Exhale, transition through a lunge. Pivot on your left knee. Right foot to the back, followed by the left. Now we can stay here or try lifting the right leg, pointing the toes. Back to your breath. Brace the shakes. One more breath in. Exhale, lower your right hand, drop the left knee. Keep the right leg lifted as we lower chest and chin. Inhale, slide through to cobra. Exhale, back into down dog. One more breath in here. Exhale, look to your hands. Inhale, make your way there. Take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, right knee lifts through stalk. Exhale, either find figure of four or eagle pose. It's up to you this time. Hold here for a couple of breaths. One more breath in. Exhale, everything lifts back up through stalk. Now point the toes, take the knee nice and high, extend the right leg out in front. Hold it there, use the breath. One more inhale. Exhale, flex the front foot, sweep it all back into your warrior three. You can either keep hands behind or interlacing the fingers, dipping the chest a little lower. One more breath in. Exhale, release the hands down, right leg lifts as high as you can, standing split. One more inhale. Exhale, right foot steps back, ground the heel, interlace the fingers behind your back, lift the chest, breathe in. Exhale, fold into humble warrior. One more inhale here. And exhale, lift back up from the hands. Take a little bit of a shorter stance with your feet. Make sure the feet are at least hip width. They're not on a tightrope. Pull your left hip back, right hip forwards. Either hold onto your elbows or press the palms together behind your back. Lift the chest, breathe in. Exhale, send the hips back, reach the chest forwards, and then down into a pyramid fold. So keep pulling left hip back, right hip forwards. You can take a little micro bend in that left knee if it feels more comfortable. One more breath in here. And exhale, lower the hands, drop your right knee. Now you can either hold a low lunge here, maybe using some blocks to help lift the chest, or come into your full Hanumanasana or splits. So if you have blocks at home, I'd recommend using them either side of your hips, just to help roll the shoulders back and keep the chest nice and lifted. So shuffling that right leg back, wiggling the left heel forwards, finding a place where you can breathe comfortably, keeping the chest lifted. We'll stay here for a couple of breaths. One more inhale. And exhale, push into the hands, back into a low lunge. We're going to pivot on the right knee, step the left foot back, followed by the right side plank. You can take any variation of side plank that you like. You may want to try reaching peace fingers to big toe. You can stay there or start to extend that leg. One more breath in. Exhale, release the left hand down. Keep the back heel nice and lifted, left leg high. Send the shoulders over the wrists, elbows drawn in as we lower chest and chin. Inhale, drop the foot, slide through to cobra. And exhale, back into down dog. One more breath in. Exhale, look to your hands. Inhale, make your way there. Take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Other side. Left knee lifts through stalk, breathe in. Exhale, figure of four or eagle pose. Your choice. Here for a couple of breaths. One more inhale. Exhale, everything lifts high. Take the left knee as high as you can. Point the toes and extend the leg out in front. Use the breath. Embrace the shakes. But using the strength of the hip flexor and the quad, the lower abs. One more inhale. Exhale, flex the foot, sweep everything back into our warrior three. You can stay or interlace the fingers, dipping the chest lower, left leg higher. One more inhale. Exhale, release hands into standing split. Pressing nose towards knee. Take the left leg high, squeeze the glute. Point the left toes, lengthen through the leg. One more inhale. Exhale, step back onto the left foot, ground the heel 45 degrees. Hands behind your back, interlace the fingers. Lift the chest, breathe in. Exhale, fold down, humble warrior, shoulder on the inside of your knee. Relax the head. Let gravity take the arms down. Use your Ujjayi breath. One more inhale. Exhale, lift up from the hands. Take a little bit of a shorter stance with the feet. So they're about hip width. Pull your right hip back, left hip forwards. Hands behind, either elbows or palms. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lunging forwards, hips back. And then releasing down into our pyramid fold. So pulling right hip back, left hip forwards. You can take a little bend in that front knee if you're overextending. One more breath in. Exhale, lower the hands, lower the left knee. We can either stay in our low lunge here or find our Hanumanasana or splits. So I recommend using some blocks either side of the hips. So wiggling that left leg back, right heel forwards, keeping the chest nice and lifted, shoulders back and down. Nice deep breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale, push into the hands to find your low lunge again. Bit of a tricky transition. And then pivot on your left knee, right foot to the back, followed by the left side plank. So we can either stay or maybe you try piece fingers to big toe. Maybe that leg extends. It's a little harder for me on this side. Use the breath. One more inhale. Exhale, release right hand down. Keep the right leg high. Back heel is nice and lifted. Shoulders over wrists. Drop the chest and chin. Inhale into cobra. And exhale into down dog. One more breath in here. And exhale, release into a very well-deserved child's pose. Toes together, knees wide. Melt the forearms down to the mat. Or take the arms down by your side. And just consciously slowing the breath rate down here. Elongating exhalations. Holding the breath at the bottom for a couple of seconds. And on your next breath in, roll up to a seat. So you're sitting on your heels. And then take the shins so that they are hip width. We're going to take our right hand to the heel with the thumb on the inside, fingers on the outside. Start pressing down into that heel. Tuck the pelvis under, squeeze the glutes, hips press forwards into a half camel. See if you can extend the left arm back, looking to the fingertips. You can either stay or circle that left arm all the way down into full camel. Thumbs on the inside, fingers on the outside. Try to release tension in the face. Breathe through the nose. One more breath in. Exhale, touch in first. Release the left hand and then circle back down. Take your thighs together. Arms out in front into a narrow child's pose. And on your next breath in, rolling up to a seat. Make sure the shins are hip width again in parallel. Taking left hand to the heel, thumb on the inside, fingers on the outside. Press down into that heel, tuck the pelvis under, send the hips forwards, and then circle the right arm back, half camel. Try to look back to the fingertips, or if it feels okay, circle that right hand all the way down, thumb on the inside. Squeezing glutes, pressing hips forward, release tension in the face. May even want to close the eyes. One more breath in. Exhale, touch into chest first. Release the right hand and then circle back down. This time taking a seat, swing the legs out in front. Now we're going to walk the heels in so that we can catch the outside of the feet with both hands. And make sure you've got some contact with your belly and thighs. Keeping that, will fly in my face. Keeping that contact, we're going to shuffle the sit bones back. Walk the heels forwards without losing that contact. As soon as you feel the back starting to round, then don't go any further. Try to keep the chest a little lifted. And then once you've found that point, relax the head down. Keep the feet flexed. So squeezing belly into thighs. One more breath in like this. And exhale, fully extend the legs. It doesn't matter if we can't catch the feet, just resting the arms anywhere. One more breath in. And exhale, rolling back up. From here, we're going to pull our right knee into chest. Catch the outside of the right foot with your left hand and start to extend that leg. It doesn't have to go fully straight. Try to keep the chest lifted. Right arm then reaches back. We can either stay here in this twist or start to tip your weight back a little and hover the left foot off of the ground. One more inhale. And exhale. From wherever you are, tuck the left shin in. Release the right leg down, half butterfly. We'll then take the right arm on the inside of that leg, roll left ribs open, and then take your left arm overhead. One more breath in. And exhale, releasing back up. We'll switch to the other side. So pull your left knee in, catch the outside of the foot with your right hand. Start to extend the leg as long as the spine stays long. Left arm reaches back to twist. Now we can either stay or tip the weight back and hover the right foot just off of the ground. Maybe seeing if you can look back to those left fingertips. One more breath in. And exhale, tuck the right shin in. Release the left leg down, half butterfly. Left arm on the inside of the leg. Roll the right ribs open. And then take the right arm overhead, looking up to the bicep. One more breath in. And exhale, releasing back up. Soles of the feet together in our full butterfly legs. And then peel them open like a book using the thumbs. Roll the shoulders back and down. Lift the chest to breathe in. Exhale, pull on the feet, reaching the chest forwards. And then down to fold, shoulders away from ears. You can either stay, or if you want to go a little deeper, thread the hands under the ankles, holding onto the tops of the feet, just to help guide the head a little bit further down. Still not letting the shoulders hunch up. One more breath in here. And exhale, releasing back up. Make your way onto your back. Keeping a bend in the knees. Cross your right foot over the left. Shuffle your hips to the right. And then tip the legs down to the left side. Opening out your arms, looking over your right shoulder. If you want to deepen your twist, just press down on the right hip or thigh with the left hand. One more breath in. And exhale back through center. We'll switch sides. So left knee over right. Shuffle your hips to the left. Tip the legs down to the right. Opening out the arms, look over your left shoulder. Again, if you want to twist a bit deeper, hold down on your left hip or thigh with your right hand. Try to keep that left shoulder blade grounded here. One more breath in. And exhale, release back through center. Hug knees into chest. And just take a little rock from side to side. Massaging through the lower back. Maybe take a happy baby here if you like. Just any movements you feel like you need to get out of the body. Find your place of stillness in Shavasana. Staying wherever you are for one more breath in. And exhale, releasing into Shavasana, our final resting pose. Take up as much space as you need. Really relax the feet out to the side, unclench the quads. Just consciously start to slow down your breath. Maybe take a few belly breaths, letting the belly rise as you breathe in and contract as you breathe out. And just bringing your attention to your whole body, noticing all the sensations, the weight of the body on the ground, all the contact points with the body and the ground. And try to remain in this state of full body awareness for the rest of the practice. Now, if you have the gift of time, I encourage you to stay here a while longer. If not, I hope you enjoyed today's practice and have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you for joining.